I feel as though I and possibly we are living through the worst movie ever made in terms of the dynamic of the ecological, political world we're all looking at. And with the idea that there's a climactic moment approaching, which will determine quite a bit. And some of you are watching the movie, some of you have managed, I think, to tune it out, but you're going to live in the result of it. And it's going to take an enormous amount of work to embrace the transformational aspect of everything that's going to surround us. And of course, everyone will be responding in their own particular unique way. But we have a community here that has techniques and capacities to shape our response, to show up to the dynamic of storytelling, of rooting interest, of fear and concern, and oh my God, and what's going to happen, and how's this all going to work? We have a capacity to kind of quiet that down, to find a place of really deep observation and hopefully acceptance of the space we are all inhabiting and going to inhabit that is going to be transformational and different on some level. And the vast response of people that I'm hearing from in the world outside of the spiritual community is anxiety. Get me out of here, fear, drama, hope, optimism beyond belief, endless numbers of responses to the stories that are happening around us. But what we all have, every one of us, at this moment in time, is not the desire or the need to tune out, but to tune in, be present, show up for the dynamic that's unfolding in front of us, and to see it as an opportunity, honestly, inside, to find this depth of connectivity, one to each other, but two to ourself, and to know that all that is arising arises from something inexplicable, incomprehensible on some level, dynamic beyond all understanding, and that we are part of it. We are witnesses to what is being manifested in the world. We look out through our eyes and breathe it in and taste it and hear it, and we are the responders to the dynamic transformational aspect of life that it seems to be so pronounced in our social media, in our regular kind of outside media, if you will, and in each other. I think we actually have a role to play in all of what's happening, and that is the role of stability, the role of empathy, the role of showing up for one another and for ourselves, to tell ourselves it's okay. It's really interesting because I find for myself, I wake up in the morning and on days which I've been describing in recent talks, it is beyond belief exquisite and joyful and receptive to the miracle, if you will, of our being here. And then I've been waking up with a conflict of a sense of drama, a sense of fear, a sense of, oh my God, what's going to happen? And I realize if I'm going through all of this transformational stuff, then I'm probably not alone. And so half of what I speak about to you is, of course, a talk to myself, but it's really a talk to ourselves. That if ever there was a time for all of us to do the work, find stability, find a way, as I have to in the morning, of going nope to the noise, nope to the intrusion of outside material, outside noise. I have to do that every day. And I just sit down and I do that. And for me, it's not that hard anymore. It used to be hard, but I just take a breath. There's that asking for help to surrender, but it's not even verbalized at this point. It's an understood element of going, okay, this is the time we are in. This is the time we have found ourselves in. It is an unbelievable time in the history of our lives. Probably our parents and grandparents had their own dramatic, dynamic, transformational elements of their social, political, historical lives, but now we have that. It's our turn. And what do we do? What do we do? You show up. You get into this very quiet place and you say, if you need to out loud, please help me to surrender. Help me to open. Please help me not to be overly reactive. You don't want to build into the system of anxiety and fear and concern and drama if you can help it. You want to just be present for everyone around you and for yourself. If you want to help the world, be a stable force of light and kindness and joy in the universe around you. You know, you look to these spiritual teachings that try to bring you into a place of bliss, of constant surrender, if you will, or bliss or transcendence. And, that's fine. I don't know too many people who've pulled that off, really. But what I do know is it is possible to get to a place of still pointedness, of quietude, of reality, and knowing that you are in some ways in touch with this exquisite calmness that ultimately is the source of all that manifests. But it all comes out of a still point, and you are that still point, and you can go back, just go deep and experience your own oneness, if you will. That's really the journey that we're on as people. And if you don't do it, it will have consequence. In this moment in time, the consequence will be very visible and very immediate. And the next few months are going to be very, very dynamic and full of drama. And what follows that may also be dynamic and full of drama. God knows if you talk to astrologers, they're going to give you a lot to think about in terms of the unfolding of things. But we are in the midst of a big unfolding. And so rather than sit around and be fearful and be worried and do all of that, what you really need to do at this moment in time is be the stability for yourself, but also the stability that everyone around you needs. Think of it, if nothing else, give it purpose. Help people, help others. Be there, show up, hug, say, yes, we're all in this together. Yes, we can do this. Yes, we will be on this ride, whatever it is, however it unfolds. And it can be, hugely dramatic. The world is full of dramatic stories. It always has been. This is our turn to witness, the kinds of worldwide upheaval that we haven't really seen before. We can hope it doesn't occur, of course. That's always the great hope. But if it does, what to do? And part of what to do is what you've always done. Just go forward, live your life, do what you normally do. Um, I was looking at Chris's painting on the wall behind her, and she's sitting here in class, and she's an extraordinarily wonderful painter. And a lot of you are artists, and my go-to in life is my photography. And I just take pictures of absurd things and then find a way to take them, form them into something that I find other than it was, in a way more beautiful, more expressive. But the important thing is it brings me enormous joy. And then it can go into the world, but mostly it just goes into my world. And thank God I have a wife who's willing to come over from the kitchen sink and take a look at the last thing I just did. That's a real gift. So I get some appreciation in my life, but mostly this stuff just comes through. This transformational beauty comes through for nobody but me, or nobody but that which appreciates the taking of something relatively mundane and making it more beautiful. That is something we can all do, whether it's making art, and some of you are, really wonderful artists. Zach is an amazing, amazing artist. And, people can make art, and you can also make art out of your daily life. You can make beauty happen, and you don't have to make it happen for anyone else, really, because the thing in you that sees it is actually the creator of your being that's witnessing the art that you make. I cannot tell you, and I try to do this every week, I guess, the idea that that which is looking through your eyes is holy. That which is hearing the world, smelling it, tasting it, touching it is holy. Rudy's line, if it's in front of you, it's yours. My line, if it's in front of you, it's sacred. But all I can tell you is you are functioning, yes, for the world and society and for everybody around you, but you're also functioning for the very source of the being that is witnessing what you bring into life. And if you bring kindness and simplicity and beauty and hand holding and stillness and whatever it is into the world, it is radiant with joy at what you're doing. Radiant. It shines because you shine. This is our opportunity to be the force of light in a period of possible darkness. And, nothing I'm saying is new. There's nothing that one can really say that's new, except for the fact that we are facing this world transformational moment, every one of us together and alone in this next few months period. And it's going to get very, very hyper and very dramatic. And you can turn off the news and not worry about any of it, which is all fine. But it's like global warming, it still comes. My brother and sister-in-law in LA were 120 degrees yesterday. You can pretend that everything's fine. I mean, you can do what my brother did, which is go into the house and freeze to death because he's got the air conditioning up so high that he's freezing. So he's not happy outside or inside. So that's problematic. His wife jumps in the pool, which I think is probably a wise choice. But all I can say is certain events in life, they're not under your control. All you can do is be reactive, and you can react to them with hiding, turning it off, running away, pretending it's not happening, or you can be with it and you can sit with it and you can go, okay, you just open up to the simplicity in yourself. It's work, but it is a work that those of us who are sitting here today have practiced. We have skill sets. We can do it. And the incredible thing about doing it, it pleases our Lord, if you want to call it that. It pleases the source. It pleases the very thing that created us and brought us into being, whatever name you want to give that. And it pleases us who are reflections of that. And it pleases the other who are also manifestations of whatever that is that has made this unbelievable dynamic occur. Our job, show up, be present, keep it simple, do the work, take it deep, open as much as you can, be as radiant as you can, be as kind as you can, be as giving as you can, and hold each other's hands. As my mother would say, it's only a movie. On some level, it's maybe the most dramatic movie all of us have ever seen before, but it is a movie in a sense. Sit back, watch the thing projecting this into being. It's doing it for its own purpose. God knows it's the most dynamic film I've ever watched. And I don't know what the outcome will be, but we'll know soon enough. So let's all be together. Let's share this practice that we have, which is not to be just in the horizontal of the world, but in the vertical, so that we go high and we go deep and we experience the entirety of what's happening from a very, very awakened space and from a very deeply connected space. And we see the totality not as just, oh my God, but oh my God. It's a different approach. So, one word I wanted to speak during this talk, and I'm just going to throw it out because it was a word that wanted to be spoken, is dogma. And I don't like dogma. Maybe that's all I need to say. It's not about what's been put out there as even teachings for centuries and centuries. Dogma is thinking you know, thinking you've got it. You know, you've got it. This is what it is, and you're secure in the what it is. Get rid of that. Get rid of dogma and let this be what is. It will teach you much more than any kind of dogma. Dogma is generally a horizontal teaching that's been codified over centuries. The source of dogma is what you're looking for. The source of teaching is what you're looking for. That goes up and it goes down. It is vertical. It is extraordinary. And it comes through in this horizontal, not as a preaching, not as a specific, but as a living presence that knows what to do at any given moment, how to do it. It just knows, and it will tell you how to be. Let go of dogma, let go of all the truth that you've been given. Let the truth of your moment speak to you. It will speak to you. You will feel it. It feels like love. It just feels like love. Okay. I know this isn't a profound talk particularly, but I just want all of you to know that this is a time to gather around, be together, hold hands, be part of the journey. It's exquisitely beautiful how much you can love each other when life gets hard, how much you realize what you mean to each other when life is challenging. We're all we have. This is what we have. You know, reach out, find others, connect. Okay. Uh, questions about this? I don't know. I can't see anybody asking questions, and I can only tell you that I really love you guys. You know, I think I've told you this. I was once on my way to Rudy's and decided, no, I want to go to a movie. I want to go to a movie. I don't need to go to Rudy's to go to class. I've been to class, at that point probably for 3 years, regularly. And I decided I want to go to a movie. And then just as I passed 10th Street where his place was, I said, whoa, no, I'm going to go to class. And I was shocked by my change of decision. And I went to class and I had, as I recall, the best class I ever had. And think about that. When you think of this other stuff to do, you may want to shift gears and do this. It helps.